This is Mark's story, a story about a Saturday morning that shattered a future he thought was certain. He was ready to propose, holding the receipt for a custom-designed ring he'd saved 6 months for. But his partner, Chloe, had a different plan for her day, a clandestine catch-up meeting with her ex, Jason. The question this story forces us to ask is this: when someone you love uses exclusion as a power play, is your only real choice to immediately and decisively rescue yourself? When the one person you're rebuilding a future with tells you that you are not welcome in your own life, what do? This isn't just about a canceled date. It's about the ultimate act of self-respect against manipulative exclusion. Welcome to the Verdict Zone, where we dissect the choices that define us. Mark recognized the look instantly. The careful makeup, the fitted dress, it was a look reserved for making an impression, not for a casual Saturday. He was willing to be flexible, to compromise. He even offered to drop her off. But Chloe delivered the line that would change everything with a cold, dismissive precision. "You're not invited. Let that sink in. Not it's a girl's thing or it's complicated. Just a blunt, brutal exclusion." This wasn't a mistake. It was a deliberate power play designed to put him in his place. He looked at the receipt for the engagement ring, the one that was finally ready for pickup. The truth hit him like a physical blow. To her, his presence in their shared life had become an inconvenience, not a partnership. He wasn't her future. He was an obstacle in her present. The life he was planning was a fantasy. The woman he wanted to marry was already auditioning his replacement, and she didn't even have the decency to hide it. Mark's response was a single, flat word: understood. There was no argument, no pleading, no drama. He let her walk out the door, believing she had won, that she had successfully managed him. But the moment she was gone, a cold, focused current took over. His first action was not to rage or break things. It was a calm, businesslike phone call to the jeweler. He canceled the ring, secured the refund for the deposit, and closed the account. This wasn't about vengeance. It was about liquidating a bad investment. He was closing a non-profitable business transaction. Then he began to pack. Methodically, efficiently, he boxed up only what was unequivocally his. His clothes, his books, his tools. He didn't touch her things. He left behind the shared artifacts, the photos, the furniture, the little mementos of a life that was now proven to be a lie. This wasn't an emotional tantrum. It was a strategic extraction, a clean cut, leaving no emotional debris for her to weaponize later. He was removing himself completely from the equation. When Chloe returned later that day, humming and self-satisfied from her little rendezvous, the sight of his packed car in the driveway stopped her cold. The smug smile vanished, replaced by confusion, then panic. Mark was standing by the door, keys in hand. He didn't need a long speech. He delivered the final, non-negotiable statement of fact: "We're done." Her reaction was textbook. First, she tried to minimize it, to make him the bad guy. "You're overreacting. It was just coffee." Then, when that failed, she tried to manipulate him with a sudden switch to vulnerability. But her panic quickly curdled into venom when she realized he was serious. Mark's calm reply cut through her rage like a scalpel. "The future you're talking about," he said quietly, "ended the moment you told me I wasn't invited into my own." He didn't wait for her response. He got into his car, started the engine, looked only at the road ahead, and drove away without a single glance in the rearview mirror. He left her standing there, alone with the shocking, undeniable consequences of her own choices. Over the next 48 hours, Chloe unleashed a full-scale campaign to get him back. Not out of love, but out of a desperate need to regain control. Cage. It was a textbook display of emotional manipulation. First came the gaslighting texts. "You're being crazy. You're overreacting." When that didn't work, she switched to begging and love-bombing. "I miss you. I need you. I'm so alone. I made a mistake." Then, when her pleas were met with Mark's absolute digital silence, the unfiltered rage emerged. "You were always too weak for me anyway. I'm better off." He blocked her number, her social media, everything. The final confession didn't come from her directly to him, but in an email she sent to a mutual friend, which was then forwarded to Mark. In it, she admitted the truth. Jason had only met with her to get closure and had no interest in her. She had gambled away a real future for a fantasy, and lost. She finally understood that Mark's silence wasn't a tactic, it was a verdict. His action was one of finality, not of anger. Weeks later, the final, quiet confrontation happened in the most ordinary of places. A pub where Mark was having a drink with friends. He was laughing, relaxed, a man at peace. He looked up and saw her standing there. She approached his table, her face a mask of remorse. She started to speak, to apologize, to explain. But Mark's indifference was total and complete. He wasn't angry anymore. He was just ... That was a different life, he stated calmly, as if explaining a basic fact of the universe to a stranger. "I've made my peace with it. I'm happy in this one." There was no malice in his voice, only the quiet finality of a closed door. He had moved on, and she had become irrelevant. Chloe was left standing there, a ghost from a past he no longer inhabited. The moral verdict is yours. Did Mark do the right thing? Was his exit a masterclass in self-respect or a cold overreaction? The verdict zone is now open. Let us know your judgment in the comments. Hit that subscribe button and click the link in the description to join the debate on our forum. And if you want more stories that make you question everything, check out more videos here on the Verdict Zone channel. Your story might be the next one we examine. Thanks for watching.